Are you confident? Do you have consistency? How much conviction do you have? I'm Daniel Gomez, the confidence architect, a business strategist, keynote speaker, executive coach, and best selling author. On the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, we will help you unlock confidence to create consistency and develop conviction. Together, we will discover the key that unlocks your confidence. Welcome back to another episode of the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, where we motivate you, we inspire you. And today, we're going to educate you. I'll tell you what, we got a special gift for you right now, a gem. This gentleman, I'll tell you what, he's a rock star. I had the pleasure of meeting him at an amazing conference this past month. And gee, he brings a lot of knowledge, just really bonded with his spirit, with his energy, just with his humor too. I just love some of just the way he attacks people, right? Because sometimes we need to hear the truth. Let's welcome to the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, Dr. Robb Kelly.
How you doing, Daniel? Great to be here, guys. Good to see you, man. Let's have an amazing show. Boom.
Boom, baby. Dr. Robb Kelly, I know the amazing individual you are. Do me a favor. Can you introduce yourself to the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, please?
Yeah, my name's Dr. Robb Kelly, the shock doc or the addiction doctor. I used to specialize just in addiction, but now we've moved on to freeing up trauma so you can be successful in life, because everything's about childhood trauma and everything's about success. So as we're going to talk about, you can be anybody and do anything and earn as much as you want to, as long as you get the trauma and the brain set and the neural pathways set for success.
You have a unique and distinctive way of teaching and talking about this, because one thing I loved about you when you were just speaking about this on stage is you make it simple.
Oh, well, the thing is, Daniel, this is the deal. I've been doing this for over 30 years with about 8,000 patients and people I've been working with. And it really is simple once you know what you're doing. But, you have to study neuroplasticity. You have to study neuroscience. You have to study how the brain works, central nervous system, and attack to the trauma to make sure that you can live your best life ever. Now, when we talk about 8,000 patients, that's a lot of people. But when I say I have a 97% success rate and the other 3% didn't want to do this, then it does become simple. I mean, it really is. I'll give you some techniques today, guys, to do it your own. And you'll see how your life changes and your performance will change, because most people, they operate on about 25 to 50% of their capacity. They always do. And whether you're in $1 million or 100 grand, you always do. There's still a lot more that you don't think you have in you. And my job is to free that up, to make sure that if you're on $500,000 a year and you want to earn $1 million, by the time you leave me, you'll be earning $1 million, because I get you to write that check for $1 million and then we cash it at the end of the deal. It's just amazing. Absolutely.
Well, I tell you what, I'm glad I'm having lunch with you, because I'm going to definitely pick your brain even more. So you know what? Let's take this approach. This came to me as you were speaking that we're definitely going to talk about the 97%, but I really want to get people impacted, right? And because, ladies and gentlemen, this is a part of the show where I tell you, get out your pen, get out your paper, because when you listen to something, you only retain a little bit of information. When you write it down, you retain more. So I want you to take notes, because Dr. Robb Kelly is going to drop some massive wisdom. This guy is a doctor to the celebrities. He's amazing. He knows what he's talking about. So get out your pen and paper, take massive notes. And then after the show's done, you're going to go back and you're going to write down and go over your notes and highlight the notes that really speak to you. So Dr. Robb Kelly, as we get started, let's talk about the 3%. What are the things that you see? What are the character, the attributes, the issues that keep those 3% from succeeding before we head into the 97% that we're going to spend a good part of the show on? But what are the 3%? Because I think I want to start with that to really hit the audience in the face and say, maybe this is you right now. You're wondering why you're struggling. You're wondering why your life sucks. You're wondering why you're saying, God bless me, but you're not doing the simple things. So what are the 3% doing that they need to stop doing, or what is it that they reject?
Now, when I say this, it's not a clinical thing. It's just truth, because we've studied. It's childhood trauma. If you can imagine when you was a kid, in England, we used to kick a football around and used to shout across the street, Johnny, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be an actor. What about you, Billy? I want to be an astronaut. They were dreams, real dreams. What happened to them? Well, our family and friends kicked it out of us. That's what happened. So you add childhood trauma to it. How many times have I told you you're not good enough? Get off there, you stupid idiot. You can't go to college, you're too stupid. It's that 3% that move into adult life. And what happens is a part of the brain called the basal ganglia, which is our repetition, strength, and confirms when we are added that trauma, that basal ganglia is affected. So what happens is we start to get there and we start to believe, and all of a sudden, our childhood trauma subconsciously comes out, and you hear one of the caregivers go, "Don't be so stupid. What are you doing here? You're out your league." And then you step back. But you can't correlate the two. You can't put the two together, because what the cause here might be so trivial. I've dealt with that. But the reason why you can't succeed and you keep failing is simply that you haven't looked at that, and the basal ganglia, the round and round and round repetition is broken. And unless that's fixed, you will always only perform at 50%.
Wow. So let me ask you this, because 5 years ago, I had my first biggest speaking engagement ever. I flew to Sacramento, California, shared the stage with Tom Bilyeu, shared the stage with co-founder Alex Stern of Constant Contact. And I was great. I was riding cloud nine, and I felt this energy, this amazing. And when I came back to San Antonio, I was fine, right? But the energy was going down just from the event. And then all of a sudden, man, I don't know what it was, but something triggered me. I just started arguing with my wife. I was felt unsettled. And I was talking to this gentleman, and he goes, "Dude, you know what you're suffering from?" I said, "What?" He goes, "You're suffering from fraudulent complex, man, from imposter syndrome." I said, "No." I said, "What are you talking about?" It's the first time I really heard that. Is that what happens? Like, just the childhood trauma comes up because maybe I was in the spotlight and you're there with this vibrant energy and speaking and really living to say your dream life, and then things come up unaware and not even aware of it? Is that what happened to me?
So yes and yes, but I've got something even deeper than that, the brain. So yeah, I mean, you go on stage, you do the biggest performance. You obviously are meant to be a leader, Daniel. So you perform the best, and everyone loves it and fantastic. And then you walk off stage like every musician, and then the dip comes, and the dip is how you handle life. And what happens is the childhood trauma goes back, and it's you're not good enough. You've all this great stuff, but what also happens is you've had a glimpse of who you should be. So that when you step back into normal life, I have it sometimes when I come off stage on a big TV syndicated show, I get that little bit of a dip, is you go back to normal life. Okay, so here's the deal. You can't work for anybody else. You have to create your own empire, because that's the mindset you have. So you've got these couple of chemical imbalances happening. And then the neural pathways, which are thought patterns that you was on stage with and everything was flowing, turn to negative neural pathways, because all of a sudden you want to self-sabotage that. And that's going back to childhood trauma. So there's a couple of things going on there. And again, unless you address that, that's always going to happen. And unfortunately, it happens with the biggest events. So you get a taste. It's like you always say to someone, they get a little bit of money, they've got, I don't know, 50 grand in the bank, and they go, "I want to travel first class." And I go, "Don't travel first class unless you can afford to travel first class for the rest of your life. Please don't do it." And he had a friend who did it, and he had to go back to coach, and he hated himself, and he hated his life, and he called himself a big failure. It's not. You have to start thinking of where you belong. If you want to travel first class, get that first class mindset. We have $1 million minds. Stop hanging around with 10-cent minds, because that's what we do. We create our future. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. If you're hanging around with guys that are just happy doing a 9-to-5 job, getting just enough money to scrape through with a few beers on a Saturday afternoon, that's what you become. If I hang around 9 depressed people, I will become the 10th. It's learned behavior. Anybody can be successful, but you have to maintain that basal ganglia along with the hypothalamus, which is also a killer, and then the amygdala, which is part of the brain, controls our trauma. Once you get them three going, and the 4 chemicals every single day that needs to happen, you will maintain that place where you was on that stage. And I'm sure you do now, Daniel, but you have to start thinking that the person on the stage was really you. And the other guy going home to the wife causing arguments is the guy you are not meant to be. So when you get into the brain science, every neural pathway for success, for health, for wealth is already there. What we were doing when you was on stage is it was kind of connected and kind of not. And then you went home and it's self-sabotage. My job is, bang, is to connect it. So when we connect it, you cannot unconnect it. That's successful life, which obviously you've come across.
Wow. And so I was telling you before we came on for the show was that I just came back from California again, right? It seems my biggest stages are in California sometimes, but there was over 1,000, almost 1,500 entrepreneurs, business owners there. Biggest stage, amazing, epic. But afterwards, I've caught myself now. So something that I tell myself, and tell me if this is a good approach or a bad approach, but I say, Daniel, you are receiving at higher levels. You are receiving at a higher energy. And I'm receiving all the good in my life now. So I purposely tell myself that the day after, because I know that there's a dip and I just didn't know how to approach the dip myself. And something that I worked for me says, you know what? I deserve to be on the stage. I am receiving at higher levels. I am worthy of it. Is that a good approach to do? Or what do you recommend that someone does? Say they have a phenomenal, we'll just say maybe for them it's not speaking. Maybe they got the biggest contract in their business. Maybe that usually the clients stay on board. It's just $100 client. All of a sudden they're a cleaning company. Now they got, instead of doing a one house for $100, now you got a cleaning company that got a $10,000 contract. For them, that's big. How do they receive that, or what's the process that someone has to go through with that, Dr. Kelly?
You have to believe that you are worthy. You have to believe, if you have a higher power, God, Uncle Jimmy, whoever is looking after you, that you are always meant to be in the place that you are today. So you get a contract for 10,000, you were always meant to get that contract. So then the imposter syndrome comes in. If you trace your life back, you will see that you've gone through bad times that become your greatest asset going forward. You see, you've got to go through bad times to understand that the good times. You see, you take a battery, for instance, if it was all positive connection, it's not going to start. You have to add the negative connection for the battery to start and the car starts up. It's the same thing with our life. You know, you need the negative so you can get the positive, but you were always meant. Imposter syndrome, load of bullshit. You know, forget that. It's old behavior, old thought patterns. You are always meant to be here. And again, if you believe in God, accept that. You have to accept that people are natural born leaders. You can't become a leader and become natural born. So if you're leading, if you get that contract, if you get that house, girlfriend, car, you are always meant to get it. And you go to the neuroscience, it's already there. The video I shown at the conference you was at, it's connecting them and keeping them connected to show that you are worthy, you are the leader, and it was always meant to be. So therefore, when you're thinking like that, it doesn't become about you. It becomes about, you've got that $10,000 contract. How many people can you employ? How many people that you call up going, hey, you're hired, that's going to tell their wife or girlfriend that I've just got a job where she sat there with a baby wondering when the next meal. It's not about you. It's about sharing and expecting that, yes, God or whoever it is has put this on you to bless other people. And you take it. You get up like a man, like a beast. You accept that, and then you search for more, because God wants to give you all this stuff, and the old stuff. Oh no, I'm not worthy. Oh, it's not me. Oh my God. When I first went to Oxford University, coming from the projects, mind you, where my family couldn't afford lunch food at school, I had to sit out going for starving sometimes to Oxford University. How the hell does that happen? It happened because it was always meant to be. So when I sat down for the first lunch and there was 7 knives and 7 forks and 3 spoons, I freaked out until suddenly I realized this was all meant to be. And now we're seeing the fruition of that. It's blessing people on a daily basis and saving lives.
So if someone has gone through life in feeling unworthy, feeling undeserving, feeling that they just don't have what it takes, what is a process that someone walks through? From how does a Dr. Robb Kelly go from the projects, from not having enough food to eat, starving during playtime at school, to Oxford University, to one of the most prestigious, most just highest regarded schools in the world, not just in the UK?
So a lot of it is luck and connections. Obviously, you know this, Daniel. A lot of connections is, and just accepting it. Start to live that life. So what we will do is to train the brain to accept them things. This is something we do all the time. Is if we get somebody who's on the verge, or we think we can turn into a leader, a multi-million-dollar leader, I'll take them to the Porsche dealerships and I'll sit them in the car and we'll test drive it. Then we'll take them to the big $1 million house and we'll walk around as if we're going to buy it. And then we'll take them to the jewelers and we'll look at that Rolex that he only ever dreamt of. And what happens to the brain, it kind of gets primed with that lifestyle. So when it does happen, and it will, when you work with me, when you go to buy that car, that Porsche for $180,000, the brain and the trauma doesn't freak out and go, whoa, whoa, I didn't deserve this. What the brain does, it goes, oh yeah, I recognize this. Yeah, this feels comfortable. Because life, we go back to stuff that's crazy. So there was a girl in England, Manchester, many years ago in the 70s, snatched off the side of the street. Blonde haired, blue eyed schoolgirl, 16, 17 years old. There was a manhunt, couldn't find her. 9 months later, everyone's forgotten about her. Police car following another car down a country road, had a broken signal light indicator, pulls him over, searched the car, stolen screwdriver. Now we go back to the house, search the house, lawnmowers, drills and everything. But during the search, there's a huge box in the corner, 4 foot high by about 12 foot wide. And they said, we know you've got more stolen stuff in there. So they smashed the lock off. And as they opened the top, there was the girl that had been taken 9 months ago. She was bruised, she was battered, but she was alive. He used to take her out every day, abuse her, restroom, feed her, and put her back in the box several times a day for 9 months. When they opened the box, the policewoman leant over, she got hold of her hand, she helped the girl step out the box. She took her police coat off and she put it around the girl. What's the first thing the girl did? She got back in the box. And that's what our life is like. We keep trying to get back in the box, even though it's painful, torturing, and we'll never break out on our own. It becomes our comfort zone. It's the same in business and success. We still want to run back to our comfort zone. Is I'm not worthy. I'm going to stay in this 9-to-5 job. I can't become a speaker. I can't become a counselor or a coach because I still want to go back to my comfort zone. Smash the box. Get out of the comfort zone. It's bullshit. You know, you have to strive forward and do these things, guys. If you want to be a leader, or you are a leader, you want to be better, hey, gotta get up in the morning, stand in front of your mirror, and let's prime the subconscious brain with all that crap lips. Say, I love you 10 times in a row, looking at yourself, storing that subconscious brain. And when that will come to fruition is when you're going for that car job, house, speaker job, whatever it is, and all of a sudden, rather than the trauma come through, it's I love you, and I am worthy, and whoever's up there looking after me has got me because I've always meant to be here. Once you realize that, everything else will fall into place.
Boom, baby. There you go. Smash the damn box.
Bang!
What box do you got to smash, ladies and gentlemen? Listen to what Dr. Robb Kelly's saying. Smash the box. True story. Lady stepped out of the box. We always run back to what we're familiar with. We always run back to what we're familiar with. Let me ask you this, ladies and gentlemen. What are you running back to that's familiar, that you're comfortable with, that you know you don't belong there anymore? You know you already outgrew it. You know that you're better than that, but you keep running. Is it your ex-girlfriend? Is it your ex-wife? Is it your ex-husband, your ex-boyfriend? Is it those friends that talk about you and backstab you? Is it that job that you hate because you're just comfortable with that? What box do you need to smash? Like Dr. Robb Kelly said, today's the day you decide to smash that box. I love it. That's
gone. And you know, people say all the time to me, well, you know, I say, listen, you don't like your wife, get a new wife. You don't like your job, get a new job. You want to start a business, start it. Well, it's not really that easy. Well, it really is. It really is that easy. I mean, change your routine. You get up tomorrow morning, stop brushing your hand with the same right hand. Brush your teeth with the left hand. Bang, neural pathway change away from the old. Make your frigging bed. Bang, the brain goes, wow, I've just completed a task. Write 5 things down every single day that you're going to complete that day, no matter what. No matter what. Could be start easy, breakfast, dinner, lunch, whatever it is. 5 things down, cross them off as you go along. The brain goes, oh my God, what a winner. Boom, what a great day. You know? I mean, people will come home from work, they go, oh, I've had a real bad day. My question is always this. Was it really a bad day, or was it 5 minutes that you spread out all through the day because you're running back to that box? As long as the box is there, you will always run back to it. As long as you've got a plan B, forget plan A. It's never going to work. I was talking to Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the 70s. I spent some time with him. And he said 3 things to me that was absolutely changed my mindset. Now, this guy, Pompey and I had just come out, an underground movie. and his broken English was terrible, but he was doing some bodybuilding shows in England, Manchester, and we were looking after him. And I said to him, look, I said, Arnold, you know, the bodybuilding is great, but what about the future? What about when you can't do the body anymore? He said, oh, I have my life planned. I said, what do you mean you got a plan? He said, I'm going to do 3 things. Oh, we pulled closer. We're like, okay, what's the first thing? He said, I'm going to become the highest paid movie star in the world. Well, my friend fell off the chair laughing because this guy couldn't even speak English properly. He said, okay, well, okay, what's the next thing? He says, I want to become a governor of a state, preferably California. It's in the 70s, guys, preferably California. And we went, okay, well, that's not possible because you're not American. That's what we were thinking. And I said, what's the third one, Arnold? And he said, I'm going to marry into the Kennedy family. Boom, boom, and freaking boom. And I was mind blown. And that's what set me off into psychology and mindset. It's like, this guy didn't even think for a second that he wasn't going to do that. And if we do the same as whether you're a cleaner, whether you're a road sweeper, CEO, it doesn't make any difference. You have capability and capacity to take it to the next level, you know, to lead people into greatness. Because, you know, everybody, I think, is born leader. If you're not born a leader, jump into second place and strive as much as you can. But everybody that listens to this show is a leader. How do I know that? After 30 odd years experience, I know nothing, but nothing happens by mistake, and nothing is, oh, that's a coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidence, world. You were meant to be. Smash the box.
I love that. I love that. I love that. So I love what you said, right? Tell yourself, I love you. I love you. I love you 10 times. And, you know, one time I did this exercise and I do it with some of my own clients. I tell them, look into your pupils. The pupil is the gateway to your soul. And I never realized that how deep it was, because the first time I did it, I cried. And it surprises me how many men that do this exercise. When I first started really coaching, I was coaching a lot of men, and they would look into it and they would just say it once. And most of them couldn't even complete it, Dr. Rob. They couldn't even complete saying, I love you. How powerful is it saying, I love you?
It's absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, because you're retraining the brain. That's what it's about. And if you go back to the eyes, most people don't know this, but the eyes are part of the brain. As we develop through the brain, it bulges through and then the eyes become. So the eyes are part of the brain. So when you look through the pupils, you have a direct input to the subconscious brain. That's why people get emotional. We do a thing called brain spotting. We go through the pupils, we look through the pupil, and we pull that trauma out of you. And it's usually not good enough. Never be anything. You know, if you're sat at home now and you think that you're not good enough, you'll never amount to anything, you'll never be anybody, I want to apologize to you because somebody's put that there. Get rid of that crap and replace it with good stuff, successful stuff. I mean, you want to become a millionaire? It's not hard, believe me. I've been broke.
So hold up, I want to slow down. So you said our eyes are connected to our brain. Is that what you said?
The part of the brain, not connected. Most people think they're connected with the optical nerve. They're not. You can Google this. They're bulged out, the part of the brain. So that's why this can tell the story with everybody, and you can change life and rewire with this, because you're actually looking at the brain. The eyes are the brain, part of the brain. It's not an extension. So you can go deep in. So that's why when you look at people and especially through the eyes, and you keep making eye contacts and you talk about sins and stuff, they will start crying, because that subconscious brain is keeping all the bad stuff that's never going to release it unless you take, you know, advice and direction from somebody who knows what they're talking about. And then when you get rid of that, you replace it with successful stuff, and it's 100% guaranteed.
Wow. Wow. Dr. Rob, what this is, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, before I ask him another question, like, I want you to be honest with yourself. When's the last time you told yourself, I love you? When is the last time you told yourself, I love you? When is the last time you told yourself that? I love you. Dr. Robb Kelly, he knows what he's talking about. I would really write this down. Tell yourself every morning. How many times did you say? 10 times, Dr. Rob?
10 times, yeah.
Tell yourself 10 times in the morning, I love you. How long do we have to do this? For 3 months or forever?
Do it forever. Keep storing it. Keep storing that stuff in, and at first it's awkward, and secondly, close the door if anybody sees you. God forbid. All that's it's normal. It's normal, okay? But you keep telling me that you're going to start. If I told you a lie right now, Daniel, you might believe it. You might not. If I told you a lie often enough, you're going to start to believe it. But guess what? If I told you a lie real often enough, I'm going to start to believe it. So the stuff that caregivers told us about never being successful, especially teachers, you'll never amount to anything, you think you're going to be a musician, all that stuff there is stored in the subconscious brain. And we keep that. We keep everything we see, hear, feel, touch, everything for our whole lifetime is stored in our subconscious brain. We forget nothing. But what we can do is we can redirect them neural pathways to success. How can you love anybody when you don't love yourself? And I would say 80% of people don't love themselves. They put this mask on as they leave the house. You know, they put this facade. I've worked with the biggest movie stars, mentors, coaches, footballers, and everyone has the same thing in common, that they don't love themselves. Even though they're very successful, they don't. Because what happens is they go home and they're lonely. And they could have wife and 10 kids in the house, but they're lonely and they're sad. And they get on and they put the mask on and they go and do it again. But deep down inside, they don't love themselves. So how the hell can you love anybody else truly, freely, unless you love yourself? Self-love is priceless. So guys, if you're, ask yourself, same as Daniel said, when's the last time you told yourself, I love you? When's the last time you did something for you? You know, you want to start some chemicals, 4 chemicals every day. You want to start some chemicals going? You've got, listen, there's 4 chemicals every day that needs to happen. You've got the endorphins, get to the gym or walk around for 20 minutes. That's all it is. Then you've got dopamine. When I say thank you to somebody, dopamine is released into my brain. You know, it's that feel-good hormone. Compliment people, a reward pot. Serotonin is that social belonging and sunlight. Get out there, mix with people. Go to that speaking gig. Sign up for the sticker shock. Get in there, mix with people. Get plenty of sunshine. That's 3 chemicals. Oxytocin is the cuddle hormone. Get intimate with somebody. I don't mean sex. I mean, sit down with somebody and tell them from here, you know, man, then you've got the 4 chemicals flowing. And if you don't think for a second that you sat at home feeling sorry for yourself, can't change another person's life, I want you to do this. I want you to go out next couple of days into a built-up area of people. Spot sneakers are always good. Spot somebody with cool sneakers on. And as they pass you, go, hey, man, nice sneakers. He'll go, oh, thanks, man. And then as he walks away, turn around. He'll look down at his sneakers at least 2 or 3 times. You've just made his day. Now, that's good. Everyone, oh, yeah, I made somebody's day. Goes deeper than that. So he goes home to the girlfriend or wife. Now he's in a great mood. So now she's in a great mood. And then the mother-in-law calls. And because he's in a great mood, she's in a great mood. Now the mother, and it just goes on and on from what? Hey, buddy, nice sneakers. 4 words. You've just changed the world. Okay? Wow. Because if you're not changing the world, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? Everybody has the capacity to change the world on a daily basis. Don't ever think that you're not good enough, strong enough. You're not, don't ever think that. Somebody's put that there. You have the mindset, you have the capacity, you have the strength, you have the leadership to change somebody's life. And like I've just told you, that wasn't one person. You just affected 10 people's lives. Okay? Yes. From 4 words. Now imagine going out and saying that 3 times, 4 times like I do every day. How many lives have you changed? I'll tell you, it's hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of lives in a month. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to get rewarded for that.
Well, you know what? I really like your share. I've been wanting a new chair. I tell you what, I like that 2-tone color, man. That's sweet. Let me ask you this, because we're talking about this is a great conversation we're having, Dr. Robb. It's powerful. What is something that you personally had to overcome, and how did you do that for yourself, right? Coming up from the projects of in England, I grew up on a side of town that it wasn't the best, right? We used to eat cereal with water at times because there was just more month than there was money. And we would literally eat cereal with water, and then it was frosted flakes. So it wasn't even frosted, it was just cornflakes. So we'd have to put sugar, and we ate that sometimes. And I think you learn to develop a taste after you eat it so much, but then it's like, now that you're older, you're like, man, that sucked. What is something that you did to take you from the poverty project younger Robb Kelly to Dr. Robb Kelly of you are today? What's something that you had to overcome, and how did you do that?
I think I had to look at my past without a doubt because that defines the future. And I had to believe, I really had to believe that I belonged where I am today with a passion, with an absolute passion. And that's what I've done coming from the projects. I always knew that I was meant for greater things. Uh, Isolation kills us. So I never sat alone with my thoughts. I never, there's a funny saying out there, never go to your thoughts on your own. It's a dangerous place. And then what I started to do is surround myself by people who were in a position that I wanted to be in. And I took it from there. And I don't know whether you've been in this situation, Daniel, but uh, you get to, you as you go along in life, you get situations where your brain will go, oh my God, that's such and such a body. Oh my God. And even now, a glimpse when I go to speak anywhere is, what are you doing? Nobody wants to listen to you. What the hell have you got to say? So number one, belief. I had to believe fully, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, I had to believe fully that I belonged here. So don't let them negative thoughts drag you back. I'm just a kid from the council estate or the projects.
Yes. I
Council
love what you
estate
said
project.
because I practice a lot of what you're talking about, and what I heard you say. In case y'all missed this, ladies and gentlemen, earlier in the show, Dr. Robb Kelly said he takes his clients to go at that Rolex watch, to go look at that $1 million house, to go I call it touch the dream, touch the vision, to go look at that Porsche. And right, just the other day, I was at the Lamborghini store, sitting in a Lamborghini, taking pictures with it, feeling it, and just envisioning that. And 2 years ago, I had wanted a new boat, just like cars. There was no cars, there was no boats, but I had wanted this new ski boat because I love the lake. That's why I'm a darker Mexican usually than most of them, because I like to be at Canyon Lake, which is right down the street from both of us. And it didn't happen. And then last year we took our boat out in Memorial Day, and it broke. And my wife goes, well, honey, maybe it's time for that new boat. And I said, okay, right. She dropped the idea in my mind, and it wouldn't leave me. And lo and behold, but I had gone to the boats before, sat in them, smelled the leather, sat in the cockpit of the boat twice. And it's like, I truly feel it prepared me, because this was a boat I had never really invested that much money into before. It was well over 6 figures. And I was like, man, I never envisioned even my son goes, Dad, did that boat cost more than our other house? I'm like, yeah, it did. Right. And I say that because it just shown, I want to share that with the audience, that it's not that I'm bragging about it, but I had to grow into believe, like Dr. Robb Kelly said. And sometimes to gain that belief that you can obtain a goal or dream, is you have to go out there and touch it, and go out there and get comfortable with those bigger numbers. What's your perspective on that, Dr. Robb?
Oh, 100%, 100%. And don't think you don't deserve. People, oh, what's your ego? Oh, no. You get that boat and you show everybody to be successful as you. That's what I do. I bought a car. It's a Mercedes AMG GT. It's a special version. It's extortionate amounts of money. We have like $500,000 worth of cars. We only have 2 cars in our garage. I deserve that. And when anybody wants to come, I go, hey, you want to drive it? They go, oh, what do you mean? You really? But it costs so much. Listen, you can have this, man. You can have this dream. This is nothing special. Nothing lasts forever. But yeah, 100%. You got to believe that. You want that car? Put it in your mind that you want it. If you're a religious guy or spiritual guy, ask God for it. That's what I do. Hey, listen, I'm working with God's kids. I want that. I want a car. I want this big house. I want, $10 million in the bank, or whatever it is that you want, as long as you're serving other people. Here's the key. You can't just ask for it and grab it and go away. You've got to start serving other people and getting them to believe in your dream. It's there's a guy on TV, and he talks about asking God for 40 acres of land, and it's just it's mind-blowing the way he tells his story, because you can have anything you want in life. Are you willing to pay the price for it? Are you willing to go out there and inspire people? Are you willing to go out there and make mentors? Are you going to go out there and make normal guys into leaders? Because if you're doing that, the world is open to you. It really, really is. And quantum physics tells us this. So quantum physics, let's for instance, that could be 25, 12, 14 places on a basketball court at the same time. Okay? So 12 spaces on a basketball court. I'm looking at the court, and where do I want to be? I want to be over near the goal. So when I get the ball, I slap it in the net, I become the hero of the game. Okay, brilliant. Can you see it? Oh yeah, I can see myself there. What do I have to do to get it? Walk over and take that position. Don't beg for it. Don't crawl for it. Walk over and take it. Because it's the one thing I've learned in this life is what you visualize here, you can hold here. Period.
Boom, baby. I love that.
Bang!
I love that. One last question as we come to the last segment of our show, Dr. Robb. This has been amazing. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go back and definitely watch this episode and study it myself just deeper, because you're dropping so much wisdom, so many golden nuggets. How does someone grow the capacity in their life, right? And what I mean by that is so many people I see that start in business, they want to be where Dr. Robb Kelly is or Daniel Gomez is, and they're brand new at speaking, they're brand new at coaching, but they really want to be where they should be in 5 years. How can someone accelerate the growth of their capacity to be able to handle more, to do more?
I'm a great believer in you can't do this on your own. You need an outside source. How do we know we're any good at anything? People tell us. We don't get one and go, you know, some of them are great chef. We can't do that. You're not your own measuring stick. People tell us, hey, you're a great chef. Oh, that food was amazing. Oh, then you grow into it. So find somebody, find a mentor, find somebody like me who's going to take you to the next level. Someone like Dan who's going to take you to the next level. And then even if you don't 100% believe, your mentor will believe. And that'll make you believe. Remember, show me your friends, I'll show you your future kind of thing. It's like the people around us. You know, find somebody you can bounce stuff off. Tell them your vision. You have to tell another human being your vision, who understands your vision. And you need to be strong, and you need to focus. And you need to understand again that you was always meant to be there. These thoughts don't come to us. Oh, I want to be this. No. Remember, the neural pathways are already built to take you there. They just need connecting. So, hey, listen, I got a stupid idea. Stop saying that. Stop saying that. Oh, yeah, but one day, stop saying that. And stop hanging around people who do that too. We're all crazy in here. Yeah, stop doing that. I don't want to listen to that. You know, I have a mindset. I have a goal. You can achieve it. Guys, if you have the mindset, I tell everybody this. You come to me and you have a goal, we'll get you there. Do you know, if you don't, I'll give you your money back. People freak out over that. You can't do it. Nobody does that. Yeah, I do it. Yeah, I do it. Because I've turned homeless people. I was homeless for 2 years. Homeless people into millionaires. Because you have to believe. But when somebody else believes and you share a dream together, it becomes easier.
Can I share my dream with you?
Say again?
Can I share my dream with you?
Come on, let's do it.
I'm going to show it to you. That way the viewers can see it as you're watching this on YouTube. I had this made, and my friend said, don't show it. I said, no, I'm going to talk about it. It says, #1 motivational speaker in the world. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'll fix it here.
Yeah.
#1 motivational speaker in the world. Daniel Gomez inspires. So I had that made about 1.5 years ago, and I never really talked about it. And then until recently, I've been talking about it and sharing my dream, sharing my vision. And I tell myself that I put it on my mirror. I am the #1 motivational speaker in the world. That's my dream. I would say within 5 years, that's where I want to be in.
5 years from now?
5 years from now.
Oh, listen, I got some good news for you, man. I got some good news and bad news for you.
Tell me.
The bad news is old thinking. The good news is you're already the #1 speaker in the world. I've heard you speak. You know, you are. I'm the best addiction doctor in the world. Period. Yeah, you are already, man. You know, and I don't say that lightly, because I've been Tony Robbins and all them guys on stage. But no, you are the #1 speaker in the world. There's no doubt about it in my mind. If I wanted to speak for something when I go somewhere, I'm calling you straight away. You're amazing. You inspire people. You're fucking mind blowing. So I would stop. I'd take that 5 years right now and take it into 5 minutes, because you are that guy. You are that guy on the wall. You know, 100%. I'd bet all my money I have in the bank, all my cars, house, and everything. I'd put you up against the best in the world, and you'd come out winning. You're natural born leader. You're amazing.
Thank you, Doctor.
Amazing.
Thank you. I believe it. I am the #1 motivational speaker.
Correct.
I am him already. I'm already there.
Yes, you are.
Daniel Gomez inspired.
The other thing is as well is we don't realize that this today what we have. So my friend found an old picture of me and him when we were bodybuilding back. We were 16, 17, and we're clearing out my mum's house or something. And he goes, "Hey, Rob, look at this." And I go, "What?" He goes, "Look at this photograph, man." And I come over, it's me and him like doing this, and our waist was so small and our arms were so big, and we were amazing. And he said, "God, Rob, those were the days, man." And I said, "Yeah, but we didn't know those were the days then, did we?" And he said, "No, we didn't." And I said, "What if today's one of those days?" And he went, "Boom! That's it. What if today's one of those days?"
Let's
You
go.
have to know how good you are today. Today. Don't be putting things 5 or 10 years. Today. This is it. We're living the dream. We're not dreaming of living anymore. We've arrived, guys. Come on, everyone listen to this. You've arrived. Now capitalize on this. So there's a reason why you've arrived. Remember, those were the days. Today is one of those days. Today, when you listen to this, whatever day that is, it's going to change your life, because the realization, it's one of those days, baby.
Boom, baby. I am the #1 motivational speaker in the world. Today,
100%.
I'm already there.
Yes.
Woo, come on. Dr. Robb Kelly, what's a scripture or a quote that you rely on in times of adversity?
Isaiah 61. Isaiah 60. I don't know the Bible, but somebody told me once Isaiah 61 is to bring great news to the sufferers and fantastic news to their families. And that's what I live by, and that's what I do all the time, every day, all day, baby.
Love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to work with Dr. Robb Kelly or get in contact with them, Dr. Robb, how do we get a hold of you? Somebody wants to get connected with you?
Jump in Dr. Robb Kelly, any search engine. I spell my name a little bit different. ROBBKELLY.com is the website. Jump on there. There's a book there. So the last thing my daughter said to me before the authorities took them off me was, "Daddy, Daddy, please stop drinking." And the only reason why I mention that is not all the profits. You know, you heard that before. After everyone's taken the part out, 10 cents, Mike. $9 you spend, $9 goes back out into the community for people who want a new start in life. A suit for a job, a court date to get the kids back, whatever it is, a suit for a motivational speaking gig, whatever it is, goes back out. We gave over $100,000 out, most of it our money this year, to other people around USA and the UK. So jump on there, buy it. If you don't like it, same old thing, just let me know. I'll send you your money back. Give it to someone who does. It's not about the money, you know. And the other thing is, guys, I just want to say, like, if you're sat at home in that place where you don't think you amount to anything, you don't think you're any good, you're depressed, you're low, you want to break out, 214-600-0210 is my personal cell phone number. Text me. I'm going to call you for 10 minutes. And I'm going to give you a pep talk that will change your life. And you know, if it doesn't, I'm going to send you $100 for your time. So you're not on your own. We're always in the trenches. We're always trying to help people. Reach out. Let's get this shit done. Let's move on.
Boom, baby. Man, what an episode, Dr. Robb. Last but not least, before we close out, one last word of wisdom, doctor. Give us one last word of wisdom, if you don't mind.
You are what your thoughts tell you are. End of story. If you think you're a champion, you are a champion. Stop waiting for that day. There's never going to be a good day where you will be the #1 speaker. You're ready to buy that house. You're ready to have a baby. It's never going to happen. Them days never come. Make it today.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, go back and listen to this episode again. So many times we want to say, I read 1,000 books. Well, don't read 1,000 books. Master one. I encourage you to master this episode, because I'm going to go back and really study this episode myself and take notes upon notes upon notes, because our awareness, I don't care who you are, you can't hear everything in one run. You got to go back and listen to it at least 2 or 3 times. So go back, look at your notes you have right now, and watch how many more notes you come the second and third time around. That's a wrap for this week's episode of the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show. Thank you so much again for Dr. Robb Kelly. We'll have his information in our show notes. And if you're stuck in life, if you're stuck in business, go to danielgomezglobal.com. That's danielgomezglobal.com. Do our entrepreneurs assessment. We want to help you with that. And coming up here, March 17th and 18th, our Sticker Shock Speaking Academy. If you can't make this one, our next one's already on the calendar, September 8th and 9th, here again in San Antonio, Texas. That's Sticker Shock Speaking Academy, March 17th and 18th. coming up here in a couple of weeks, and then September 8th and 9th. We want to see you out here in San Antonio because the world needs to hear your story. Your story matters. Until next week, when we have another amazing guest, another amazing episode here on the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show. We'll see you then, and thank you so much for tuning in with us today. This is Daniel Gomez, and thank you so much for tuning into our show today. We'd love your feedback. Please drop us a comment, and thank you for leaving us a review. Don't forget to subscribe to our show and share this episode with a friend. And my free gift for listening to our show today is a copy of my best-selling book, You Were Born to Fly. To get your free copy, go to DanielGomezInspires.com and get your copy today. That's DanielGomezInspires.com. And to elevate your life and business even more, follow me on social media at Daniel Gomez Inspires on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Together, we will discover the key that unlocks your confidence.